A major victory for a prominent climate scientist, Michael Mann. He won his long-fought legal battle against two conservative writers. In 2012, the man falsely claimed that Mann had manipulated data in his research that showed a dramatically warming planet, and they compared him to convicted child molester Jerry Sandusky, saying that instead of molesting children, Mann was molesting data. Juries in D.C. found that the pair made their statements with maliciousness, spite, ill will, vengeance, or deliberate intent to harm. And they awarded him more than $1 million in damages. And here he is now with us, Michael Mann, Presidential Distinguished Professor, Director of the Center for Science, Sustainability, and the Media at UPenn, also the author of the book, Our Fragile Moment. Michael, 12 years is a long time to have to fight here. How do you feel today?
Yeah, it is. And it's good to be with you, Brianna. And I feel good. And I'll tell you why. It isn't just about me in defending my science from scurrilous attacks and defamatory claims. It's really about the defense of science. It's appropriate to debate science, to challenge other people's scientific findings. That's part of this, what Carl Sagan described as the self-correcting machinery of science. But that doesn't mean that you can lie about scientists. It doesn't mean that you can defame them and make false claims about them. And in today's world, we see so much disinformation. We see attacks on science and attacks on scientists. And I think it was an important message at this moment in time that it's not okay to make false claims about scientists and to make defamatory accusations against scientists, that there is a limit to what is protected speech.
And climate science has come so far. Belief in climate science has come so far. You attracted skeptics. Really, it was after you became famous for your so-called hockey stick graph that was published in the journal Nature. That was back in 1998. It showed the rapidly warming planet, really raised the alarm on the situation. Here we are, 26 years later. What is your message now to people, so many of whom have really woken up to this since then?
Well, I'll tell you, my message is this. Once again, open debate is a good thing in our public discourse, in our scientific discourse. But it is not okay to make false accusations and defamatory accusations against scientists as part of an ideologically driven agenda to discredit science that might be inconvenient to your political views. And we see that with climate science, but we see that today with public health science when it comes to the science of vaccines. And in fact, I'm now undertaking a project with my good friend Peter Hotez, which is one of the leading public health scientists in the country, who has also been subject to all sorts of scurrilous attacks and false allegations because of the vaccine work that he has done and that he is doing, and the fact that his work, again, is opposed by some people who harbor political views about vaccines and about COVID-19. It's okay to be skeptical about science, to be skeptical about scientific claims, and the more, the stronger those claims, the more skepticism that is warranted. But it's not okay to attack scientists and to make defamatory claims about them because of your political opposition to their scientific findings.
Michael, what do you worry is the effect on whether it's public health or even, global health, the health of our planet, which affects us all, when you have people making boogeymen out of scientists like yourself?
Well, I really worry about that, right? Especially young scientists who see the attacks on scientists like myself, scientists like Anthony Fauci and my good friend Peter Hotez. They look at that and, that chills the discourse that potentially leads them to sort of withdraw into their laboratories. They don't want to get involved, get into the fray, and to be part of the effort to communicate their scientific findings to the public out of fear that they will be attacked, that they will be viciously attacked, again, by those who have vested interest in discrediting science that's inconvenient to their economic interests or their political viewpoints. And so this is a message to my fellow scientists that that it is not okay for people to attack you, to make false allegations against you, to defame you. And hopefully that will create some space where scientists feel a little bit more, that they're more comfortable in leaving the laboratory and communicating their findings to the public, because we rely upon the best available science, as you said, both when it comes to our own health and the health of this planet. What could be more important than the health of our, of us and our fellow human beings and the planet that we live on? Those are really the stakes here.
Yeah, we don't want there to be that chilling effect. Michael, great to have you. Thank you so much, and congratulations. We appreciate your time today.